Pardon Karen and Wayne Moline for feeling like they've got skeletons in their closet. It's what happens.
For the rest of my life, I wonder what happened to him.
When their closet contains someone's remains, their journey to learn who.
I mean, the anger. You can't even imagine the anger.
Began July 15th, 1966.
He was 19 when he left for Vietnam.
Karen's little brother, Mark V. Dennis, was a Navy medic on this chopper when Vietnamese soldiers shot it down.
But there was part of us all missing. That cute little curly-headed little boy. We accepted the fact he was dead.
But was the Navy telling the truth? Did he really die in that helicopter? Questions the family asked 4 years after the funeral. When Dennis's face turned up in the pages of a magazine.
I looked through the book and there it was. And that's Mark. He's not dead. And I believe I sat there and kept yelling, he's alive.
The resemblance was as striking as it was confusing. If Mark was alive, who was in the box?
To be quite honest with you, when I thought he was dead, that I could handle. Because I knew he was with God, and I knew he was okay. But then you turn around and tell me, or show me, that he could have been in a prisoner of war cell all this time, and our government didn't do anything about it? I couldn't stand to let that go.
They couldn't let it go. The family and the Navy dug up the remains 3 times. The family's experts found major discrepancies with the height and weight of the remains. But the Navy stood by its story. This was Dennis.
A bunch of damn liars. That's just about it.
And for 5 decades, the Navy refused to say otherwise.
But I knew it wasn't my brother.
So the remains were put in a box until last year, when Karen's son figured he'd try one last thing and sent the remains to a DNA lab.
What was left of the skull, there was one tooth. And that's what he used.
Finally, in March.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, my hero.
I'm glad I could be here.
The Navy personally and finally acknowledged a mistake had likely been made. The DNA test certainly seemed to prove it.
Thank God they found DNA. Because without that DNA, they'd still be telling us that's not possible.
The decades spent looking for answers, the frustration along the way.
I have to say, it is hard to believe that we've finally gotten this far.
Maybe the Navy can finally figure out whose remains have been in the closet.
I'll turn these remains over to you to hopefully find who that young man belongs to.